What is your worst memory of school life? High school. All of it. Having to shit at the same time every day. Sweating so much from my armpits that my clothes stained in the pit regions. Staying awake for days. Passive aggressive bullying. Direct bullying. Teacher bullying. Parent bullying. Child abuse. Indirectly being a female dickhole to be funny. Being so small that people just picked me up casually to move me, and I thought that was like a normal thing I was gonna experience every day when I grew up. Anxious about your problems and hormone weirdness? Well, it's time to go sit right fucking now, or you sweat like a pig from your ass crack and armpits. Oh yeah, and getting periods so bad that you bleed through your clothes. My third day of kindergarten, around 5 or 6. At the time I was scared of toilets that weren't from my house because I was scared they were gonna be loud. Stupid, I know. So it was around period 5/6 and we were coloring in bluebirds for some reason. Then I realized I had to go to the bathroom. I was too scared to go, so I tried to hold it in, but I peed my pants instead. Nobody noticed, so I carried in like nothing happened. I was still mortified that someone was going to find out, so out of embarrassment, I shat myself. At that point I had no idea what to do, so my stupid shy little brain thought it was okay to carry on until we go home. The teachers started vacuuming the carpet because it smelled like vomit from me and my bowel movements. After that we had to go to our cubbies and change our shoes for something, then I peed myself again. Note, I wasn't sick or anything, I think it was just nerves, because we were all still new to school. This time everyone noticed and kinda just stared in shock as pee dripped from the bench. My teacher noticed and I was sent home for the day. The next day nobody really cared and everything carried on like normal. 2-week football camp, 3 practices a day, 2 conditioning sessions. My friend, a backup quarterback, got hit hard in the head during the noon session. Coaches walked him back to the dorms, trembling. Practice resumed, but something seemed off. Hours later, maybe 7 p.m, we make our way back to the dorms. Myself and 2 other guys are concerned, so we go to check on him. He's not in his room. We scramble trying to locate him. Finally, on the vacant floor above we find him shuffling down the hallway, eyes darting all over the place, but gaze mostly upwards. He can form words, but sentences are a struggle and his voice is shaking. His extremities are shivering. We find a wall phone and call an ambulance like the coaches should have done 7 hours ago. In 3rd grade, there was an activity fair for the entire school. This meant that there were games and fun things to do the entire day. And so lunch and recess came about, and we were all given water bottle to drink when we got too thirsty from all the playing. Well, here comes the worst memory. I had drank so much water that I needed to pee really badly. And the 3rd grade kid me didn't want to miss anything from this day, so I held it in and continued playing. Eventually, tag slowly turned into water tag. Seeing all that water being sprayed around didn't help me at all. That was when I decided that I would let out small amounts of pee ever so often to release some tension. But having little control at my water duct, it all came out. I lied terribly about what happened and blamed it on the water that was being splashed on me, but everyone knew. The other kids knew, the teacher knew, and my dad knew. In 11th grade, there was this guy on bus who didn't like me at all. He would shoot spitballs, but then one day he kicked me and I had enough. I punched him in the face without hesitation, which broke his glasses, and he was a huge beast. Just so you know, like almost 6 feet and nearly 300 pounds. They demanded I pay for his glasses. I refused. Then they threatened to take away my diploma by putting it on the high school fine/fees, which does that. I had no choice. But I did get one thing out of this. No one dared mess with me again. There are way too many to choose from tbh, but I think it can be summed up in general as repeatedly getting yelled at by every single teacher ever about not handing in homework on time and needing to have better time management / be more responsible / be more organized, and the multiple parent teacher conferences to discuss my rebellious and lazy attitude towards schoolwork. Also all the times when I lay awake in bed wondering why the hell my grades weren't improving, even though I genuinely tried my best, why I couldn't achieve the same grades as my peers, why I was always falling behind in my schoolwork. Was I really that lazy? My entire school life has been a continuous nightmare. Turns out I just had undiagnosed ADHD FML. My family just moved, and I was in first grade, joined halfway in. During one cold day I just felt so hot. I'll never forget it. Felt like I was burning up, so I kept spinning in my chair trying to get comfortable. As soon as my teacher said my name, calm down, and whole class's attention turned to me, I threw up in my cupped hands. But I'm 6'0" and my hands are tiny, so my puke kept coming and overflowing out of my hands on my pants and the table and the floor. Puke everywhere. Teacher took me in the bathroom to clean up, but I had to stay the day in my puke covered clothes. They didn't call my parents. We just moved, so I didn't know the number and they didn't let me go home alone. So I stayed dressed of the day in my puke covered clothes. Yee good times. Oh, I've been waiting to tell this lol. Okay, so it's my first day of kindergarten and my dumbass skips breakfast. So my class is taking photos for the yearbook or something, and it's summer, and it's hot out. So I'm starting to feel sick, then I know I'm about puke. I'm saying move out of the way to the people in front of me. Guess they didn't hear me cause I puke behind them, at least it wasn't on them. And my teacher brings me to the nurse's office and the nurse says, why did you puke? And I say I skipped breakfast. She gives me some crackers and I go back to class. So that pretty much explains why I didn't have any friends in school.